Let's meet Chipo telling a story. Chipo begins. Sit close. I want you to listen attentively. To know who we are, you must go back to Great Zimbabwe. We were masters of our environment. We harvested mutondo and muputi bark, beating it for hours to create gudza. It was a sacred process, turning coarse forest fibers into soft, protective armor for the womb. And our beadwork, that was our sacred text. We shaped ostrich eggshells into tiny discs and baked clay into beads. This was our Zuma, a language where the weight and pattern of every string told your exact stage in life and your lineage. In the rosy courts, we were royalty. We were master metallurgists. Elite women wore heavy, polished copper and brass rings that caught the sunlight as we moved. Some ceremonial garments were even interwoven with gold threads beaten from our own mines. When a royal woman walked, the melodic, metallic clinking announced her majesty before she even entered a room. We carried tsika, a deep, intentional descent in every layer. We did not hide our bodies. We honored them. The trade shift and colonial resistance. Then the canvas shifted. In the 19th century, the Washambazi traders brought machira, woven cotton from the Indian Ocean. We turned the Zambia cloth into a living billboard. A fiery pattern shouted joy, while earth tones signaled community reflection. When colonial officials arrived and tried to impose their stiff, restrictive standards, we did not break. We engaged in a silent protest. We used the Zambia cloth and specific color palettes to signal our cultural preservation. We wore their silhouettes, but we reimagined our modesty as sophisticated armor, maintaining our dignity even under external pressure. My mother's story doesn't end, it evolves. Today I wear the Dhuku. It's an architectural crown. Whether I tie it in the tower or the rose, I am translating my authority for the world to see. It has become a global symbol of Zimbabwean feminine power. And look at us now. We are in a digital renaissance. Gen Z designers in Harare are using 3D printing and sustainable high-tech fibers to create the exact textures of our 15th century Gudzabak cloth. We are not just wearing clothes, we are uploading our history to the global stage. Social media has turned our ancient wrapping techniques into a viral fashion language. We are the architects of our own culture, balancing heritage with futuristic innovation. The material changes from forest bark to digital silk, but the Shona woman remains the same, indestructible, graceful, and forever connected to the ancestors. The thread is unbroken, and the crown is only getting higher. Why behind each transition from Gudza to Zambia cloth? This was not just a switch in fabric, it was a shift in economic mobility. The trade routes allowed women to use clothing to signal their status in a rapidly changing global market. The Dhuku as architecture. The Dhuku isn't just a covering. It represents the internalized strength of the Shona woman. By treating it as architecture, we elevate it from a simple accessory to a complex artistic statement. The digital renaissance. By using 3D printing, modern designers are proving that technology is not the enemy of tradition. They are using new tools to preserve the tactile history of their ancestors, creating a living blueprint for the future. So here I'm just going to share with you 5 most frequently asked questions regarding Shona women's traditional clothing, and along with the answers that provide a historical and cultural context. So the first question is, what was the Nembe and why was it significant? The Nembe was a traditional wrap-around apron or skirt crafted from carefully tanned animal hides such as cattle or kudu. It was much more than a garment. It served as a spiritual and physical shield for the womb. Because Shona culture views the woman's body as a sacred bridge between ancestors and future generations, the Nembe was designed to protect a woman's fertility and signal her revered status as a life giver. Its softness, achieved through hours of rubbing with natural oils, symbolized the harmony between the Shona people and the land. Question number 2. What was the role of beadwork, Zuma, in traditional Shona dress? Long before glass beads were introduced via trade, Shona women used ostrich eggshells, clay, and bone to create sacred texts on their bodies. Beadwork was a sophisticated non-verbal language. The placement, color, and weight of the beads communicated a woman's entire social identity, her age, whether she was of marriageable status, and a lineage. It acted as a public ID that allowed community members to understand a woman's life stage and social standing at a single glance. Question number 3. Why is the Zambia or Chitenge cloth so important to Shona women? The Zambia cloth is considered the Swiss Army knife of Shona fashion. When woven cotton fabrics entered the region through trade routes, they revolutionized Shona attire by providing a lightweight, vibrant, and versatile medium. Its importance lies in its ability to adapt. It can be worn as a skirt, it can be tied as a dress, or used to carry a baby. Beyond its utility, the bold geometric patterns act as a living billboard, allowing women to express their mood, whether celebratory or reverent, without saying a word. Question number 4. What does the Dhuku headwrap symbolize? While the Dhuku is often viewed today as a stylish accessory, it is historically and culturally significant as a crowning glory. It symbolizes a woman's maturity, dignity, and respectability. The way a Dhuku is tied from the height of the tower to the intricacies of its folds can communicate a woman's authority and social status. In many contexts, it is also a sign of modesty and adherence to cultural norms, serving as a pillar of a woman's identity as a respected member of her household and community. Question number 5. How did Shona women maintain tsika, decency, while adopting new fashions? There is a common misconception that traditional Shona dress was primitive, or that adopting modern fabrics meant losing cultural values. In reality, Shona women practiced a brilliant form of adaptation throughout history, from the introduction of cotton to the imposition of Victorian-style colonial clothing. Shona women integrated new materials while maintaining tsika. They would adapt the silhouette of a new garment or incorporate traditional accessories like beads or specific headwraps to ensure that their clothing continued to reflect their hunu, good character, humanity, proving that the Shona identity is not a static museum piece, but a living, evolving dialogue. History is a conversation that never ends. So in the comments, tell me, what does traditional dress mean to you in Zimbabwe today? Is it the classic styles, or are you loving how we are mixing it with the modern? Let's talk.